please just allow me to introduce myself. I'm Frédéric Druck. I'm in charge of Bio.be, which is the Life Sciences and Biotech Industry Association in Belgium, within the Essencia, which is the Federation for Chemistry and Life Sciences. We're talking today about cell and gene therapies, tissue engineering, cell-based immunotherapies, all kinds of ATPs, advanced therapy, medicinal products. And indeed, the EU was first region to adopt a regulatory framework for ATMPs in 2007. So quite pioneering in this. However, to date, we have 15 ATMPs authorized for use in the EU. Unfortunately, 6 of them were withdrawn from the market due to economic difficulties. And in Belgium, there are currently 7 ATMPs on the Belgian market, which is not bad, but we might improve this situation. Belgium is considered as a pioneering country in the development of ATMPs in Europe, with the company Tygenix, a company created in the year 2000 that registered and put a first ATMP product on the EU market in 2009, very early. But some figures recently published by the Alliance for Regenerative Medicines nonetheless show that Europe is currently losing some leadership in the development of ATMPs. For example, the number of ATMP clinical trials in Europe is now lower than in other regions, just like mentioned before by MEP Weiss, in the US and Asia. On the 2,100 ongoing clinical trials at global level, only 330 are taking place in Europe. There are also less ATMP developers headquartered in Europe than in America or in Asia. 230 in Europe, while we do have 650 in North America and 450 in Asia. And the number of ATMP developers in Europe is not growing currently. Finally, Europe also saw the largest decrease in investments in the development of ATMPs. For the first half part of the year, 2022, only $400 million were invested in Europe during this period, versus $5.6 billion in the US only. But there are good news. And the good news is that we do have in Europe in general, and in Belgium in particular, a very good ecosystem that brings together academia, university, hospitals, large and small companies, contract and developing manufacturing organization, specific expertise in consulting companies in cell and gene therapies and in tissue engineering, supportive national and regional governments, supportive European and national medicine agencies. These are making all efforts to enable more of those life-changing medicines to reach patients, but also to bring significant socioeconomic benefits to Europe, create jobs and developing companies and to its member states. Cell and gene therapies intend to bring a new paradigm in healthcare, not only relieving patients from the symptoms, but curing them or avoiding the diseases to appear. Nearly 1 clinical trial on 2 is a cell therapy, 1 on 3 is a cell-based immunotherapy, and 1 on 5 is the gene therapy today. And half of the clinical trials are in oncology, which is a very prominent domain of application, versus the number 2, central nervous system with 8%, and number 3, infectious diseases with only 5%. So you see that cancer is really one of the main domains where we do invest currently into development of innovative therapies. While trials were historically mostly focused on rare cancers, which is still the case, but now shifting slowly from rare diseases to more prevalent diseases. Up to 60% of the ongoing trials, we're going now on diabetes, osteoarthritis, Alzheimer's, depression, which is also good as an effect and impact on the penetration of the therapies into the healthcare systems all over Europe, but also into the better knowledge by the professionals, but also by the lay public and by the authorities and decision makers. And we know that now the European agency is expecting the submissions or approval of 10 to 20 ATMPs every year in the coming years, which is a huge amount. We have seen a clear trend the last years in Belgium. While 15 years ago, there were mostly spin-offs from universities or startups that were paving the way for ATMPs, and initially more focused on cell therapies, we see now that more larger groups, large biopharma companies are delivering ATP products on the markets. We see more gene therapies and CAR T cell therapies coming instead of the initial cell therapies. And we see also at global level, but also at the European level, the introduction of first CRISPR therapies and also tissue engineered regenerative medicines therapies. And while the allogenic approach is still the holy grail for the industry, we still see that autologous models are still flourishing. So that's a little bit the situation. We got a lot of investment for small and large companies in ATMPs, but they're still facing some difficulties to enter the market in Europe. And their key challenges might be summed up like this. They are raising money, but they find difficulties to raise money from EU-based investments funds to support their financial sustainability. The EU regulatory and reimbursement pathways in different countries to register and deliver the products to patients is still fragmented on the European market, which is more difficult than, for example, on the US market. There is still a risk of some unfair competition by an extended use of hospital exemption. And then there is a shortage of talents on the labor market. And it's very important since we know that ATMPs are complex medicines to produce, and that the manufacturing process is part of the products. So it's important to have skilled people and enough advanced manufacturing capacities to be ahead in the leadership, technological leadership. And I will end up my introduction on this. We do have a project that is funded by the European Recovery Plan, EU Biotech Campus. And this EU Biotech Campus that will be located in Belgium will offer partially an answer to the industry needs for skilled talents by providing specific training in next generation biomanufacturing processes, as well as in digitalization and data management to improve innovation processes and bioproduction. And we start in December this year, the construction phase of the EU Biotech Campus. This will be a 5,500 square meters building dedicated to biotech training and to boost the biotech business, not only in Belgium, but also all over Europe. The campus will be delivered in late 2025. You can find more info on Biotech Campus that is in this project. And I will stop there and I will thank you for your attention.